It's September 16, 1994. The bright African sun shines down on the small town of Ruwa, Zimbabwe. In this town sits the Ariel School, a place where children laugh, learn, and play. But this day will carve its name in the annals of mystery. It's a day that will haunt the memories of those who witnessed it, the day when the unimaginable comes to visit. The schoolchildren, ranging from 6 to 12 years old, are out for their morning break. The air is filled with the sound of chatter and laughter as they chase each other around the school's playground, surrounded by the golden brush and trees typical of Zimbabwe's landscape. Suddenly, the children's play is disrupted. Some of them notice strange flashing lights in the sky. At first, it seems like nothing more than an odd reflection or a trick of the sun. But the light moves in a way that's anything but normal. In the blink of an eye, the playful energy is replaced with tense curiosity. Some kids run closer to the edge of the playground, drawn to the sight. They watch, wide-eyed, as a shining, metallic craft descends from the sky and lands just beyond the boundary of the school grounds, near a line of tall bushes. This is not a plane, and it's definitely not a helicopter. The children describe it as a silver disc, shimmering with a strange, otherworldly light. Some of the younger ones step back, nervous, while others stay rooted to the spot, unable to believe their eyes. Then, things take an even stranger turn. Two small figures emerge from the craft. The witnesses describe them as being unlike anything they've ever seen. Small, humanoid, with large, dark eyes that seem to pierce into their very souls. The figures don't speak, at least not in a way that the children can hear. Yet, many of the kids later describe a form of communication that's deeper than words, as though thoughts or images are being transmitted directly into their minds. It's a sensation that many can't fully articulate, but they know it isn't their imagination. One child, now an adult retelling the story years later, remembers feeling a strange, overwhelming sense of warning. She describes an almost telepathic message, one that conveys images of environmental destruction, the consequences of technological greed, and a dire need for humanity to change its ways. The figures don't move aggressively, and they don't touch the children. They simply watch, and somehow, that makes it all the more unsettling. Their eyes are said to be enormous, dark, and reflective, like deep pools where light goes to die. The playground is a scene of confusion. Some children scream and run back toward the safety of the classrooms, while others remain transfixed. Teachers inside hear the commotion and come outside, but by then, the strange beings have retreated, and the craft lifts off with a soft hum before disappearing into the sky. The children are left with wide eyes and pounding hearts. They gather, their voices a chorus of fear and excitement as they try to piece together what just happened. What's certain is that their ordinary school day has turned into a moment that will follow them for the rest of their lives. Teachers and staff, upon seeing the children's frantic state, initially think it's just an elaborate prank or group hysteria. But the consistency of the students' stories quickly puts that theory to rest. Dozens of children, all recounting the same strange details, with a clarity that chills even the most skeptical. Word spreads quickly. Within days, local news outlets catch wind of the incident, and soon, researchers and UFO enthusiasts from around the world descend on Ruwa. Among them is Dr. John Mack, a Pulitzer Prize-winning psychiatrist from Harvard University known for his groundbreaking research into the psychological impact of alien encounters. Dr. Mack interviews the children extensively. He notes their sincerity and the consistency of their descriptions, and he is struck by the genuine fear and wonder in their eyes as they recount their experiences. These aren't stories crafted by kids looking for attention. These are memories seared into their minds. Mac listens as the children describe the being's large, dark eyes, the silent communication, and the sense of urgency that still lingers in their minds. The kids speak of visions shown to them, warnings about the future of the Earth. For Mac, it becomes clear that something beyond ordinary explanation has happened at the Ariel school. The interviews reveal striking details. One child, who was only 9 at the time, recalls how the figure's eyes seemed to draw her in, as if trying to relay a message too complex for words. She remembers a sense of dread mixed with hope, a paradox that she still struggles to describe even as an adult. Another child talks about how he felt paralyzed, not with fear but with awe, as if he were witnessing something sacred, something meant for their eyes alone. These testimonies share a haunting similarity. Each child, no matter how young, seems to have come away changed. Years later, many of these witnesses still hold on to their memories. They describe how the encounter made them think more about the world, about their choices, and about what it means to be human. Some talk about how their fascination with space, science, or the environment grew after that day, a strange legacy of an encounter that defies reason. Of course, not everyone believes the story. Skeptics suggest mass hysteria, spurred on by excitement and the fertile imagination of children. Others propose that the sighting could have been a man-made craft, some experimental technology that the kids mistook for something extraterrestrial. Yet, Dr. Mack and other researchers argue that the consistency among the children's accounts, the vividness of their descriptions, and their continued belief years later make it hard to dismiss. Why would so many children, some too young to grasp the idea of UFOs, come up with such a cohesive tale? Some skeptics also point to the influence of local folklore, which is rich with stories of spirits and beings from other realms. One such legend is that of the Takalash, a creature deeply embedded in African mythology. The Takalash is said to be small, humanoid, and capable of supernatural acts, appearing with large, captivating eyes that instill both fear and fascination. While the Takalash is often depicted as mischievous or even malevolent, there are striking similarities between its portrayal and the beings described by the children at Ariel School. Both share certain physical traits: small stature, humanoid appearance, and eyes that seem to see beyond the ordinary. More compelling is the shared ability for supernatural communication. The Takalash is believed to exert influence or send messages without speaking, just as the Ariel beings communicated telepathically, delivering silent warnings that bypass spoken language. These parallels suggest that the encounter at Ariel may tap into a deeper, cross-cultural archetype of mysterious beings that bridge the natural and the supernatural. Whether seen as spirits from folklore or visitors from the stars, both the Takalash and the beings at Ariel represent humanity's struggle to make sense of encounters with the unknown. The children's memories did not align with the traditional accounts of local legends, however. Their stories spoke of metallic crafts and urgent warnings about the future, modern themes that pointed away from traditional folklore and towards something unprecedented. Still, for those who look closely, the connection between these stories reminds us of a universal human need to confront the mysteries that lie just beyond our understanding. Decades have passed since that day in 1994, but the Ariel School incident remains one of the most compelling and well-documented UFO encounters in history. Many of the children, now adults, still recall that day with an unnerving clarity. They continue to insist that what they saw wasn't a trick of the light, or a dream, or a prank. It was real. In recent interviews, some of the former students have come forward again, their voices quivering as they describe how that day impacted their lives. Some have spent years trying to reconcile what they saw with their understanding of reality. The fear in their voices is matched by a sense of wonder and, for some, a calling to heed the warning they received. Whether it was a visitation by beings from another world, an elaborate hoax, or a shared delusion. One thing is clear. That day on the playground left a mark. It remains a story that challenges what we think we know about our place in the universe. The Ariel school incident has become more than just a story. It's a piece of cultural history that stirs debates about extraterrestrial life, consciousness, and the mysteries that still lurk beyond our understanding. The witnesses, now spread across the globe, carry their memories like hidden scars, reminders that not all questions have answers, and some encounters leave us forever changed. The school itself stands as a quiet witness to that moment in time, surrounded by the same landscape that bore witness to one of the most puzzling incidents in UFO history. Even today, visitors come to Ruwa, hoping to feel the echoes of that day, searching for clues in the air, the trees, or the stories that refuse to fade. If this story of the Ariel school UFO incident fascinated you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. What do you think happened on that day in 1994? Leave a comment with your thoughts, and join us next time for more stories of the strange and unknown.